so we want to stay far enough away, but close enough where we can respond when something's happening. You know, obviously he knows that he's not a U.S. citizen. He's here legally, but not a U.S. citizen. He knows he has these convictions, so like he knows that this is something that, you know, could be happening.
Please, hey, get my car! Get in the car, it's all right, man. Please! Get in the car.
He was fighting the whole time, even in the back of our car. With ICE, we're an agency that can actually achieve public safety by, you know, if so ordered by a judge, you know, removing somebody back to their native country who is violent, you know, like this person.
So the largest mass deportation effort in American history just got ordered by President Donald Trump. So we came here to Chicago to figure out what it looks like for the people living here and why Mayor Brandon Johnson is putting so much on the line to protect these immigrant communities.
That's our target for today. His last arrest was to kind of put him on the radar. He is a legal permanent resident, but with this we should be able to put him in front of an immigration judge. He did robbery 3 years. Just got out last year. He also has resisting arrest conviction, so probably not very cop friendly. The past couple of days, it's 1220 bus westbound, right on Lincoln and Roosevelt. Once it gets closer to that, I'll jump over from the south side to the north side of Roosevelt. There's another little parking center there. I'll get on there, that way when I see him come out, we can close in. Once the time gets closer and I see the bus rolling, I'll call you guys in to kind of converge in closer to that area. All right. If he runs, we should have enough guys to kind of get behind him. If he tries fighting, there's plenty of us to get him controlled. All right. There is family inside the house. For sure, there's 2 minors, teenage boy and teenage girl. Lives with the mom, so the mom's in there. And there's another older male we can't identify, either the older brother or stepdad.
So where are we heading now?
We're gonna head to just stage up near the address. So there's like a signs like
East Wilson Avenue,
a strip
South
mall,
Main Street, Lombard.
A strip mall and some grocery stores. So we'll stage up. We'll be able to get eyes on the house first, but we're gonna try to get him as he gets off a bus before the house.
Like, what does staging up mean when you have different vehicles?
Staging up is just means
East Wilson Avenue.
that we'll have somebody that's kind of closer to the house that has like actually eyes on, that can kind of monitor the house and monitor the bus stop. What you know, the idea is that there has been some previous surveillance done on the subject already.
Turn left on South Main Street.
And so we know right now pattern of life is that he gets off a bus between like 12 and 1. And so the idea is once he gets off the bus, before he gets home, we'll approach him and encounter him, you know, on the street. So then we won't have to try to attempt to get him inside the house. And so what we'll do is staging up people. We have, I think, 4 different cars. So we'll have cars set up in a way that everybody can kind of converge on the target when he gets off the bus.
And how does it work if he gets home first?
If he does get home first, it sounds like there's a couple different options that we have. We could, you know, knock on the door and see if he'll let us in and come in, because we don't have a criminal warrant on him. We have an administrative warrant this time. But since we do have a lot of hours already spent in this case and we know patterns of movement, there's a good chance that, you know, if, say, for instance, this is his day off because we don't quite know where he goes while he's away from the house, that we might just come back another day to try to get him coming off the bus, just because we don't know for certain if he let us in the house. And since it's a good case, we kind of don't want it burned because he's got a pretty significant criminal history, to include like resisting law enforcement. So this is a good case to kind of get outside of his house. And we do have information that inside of his house, he has a wife and a couple of minor children and another adult male that's living there that we haven't identified yet. So it just kind of increases risks for everybody if we were to try to get him in the house. And then what stood out to me is the assault on a police officer. So that kind of, you know, heightens up the level that, you know, if he's fought the police once, that there's a chance that he'll want to fight again. So at least in this case, I think we have 7 or 8 officers. So we're in a good spot to do it. So hopefully, again, our just show of force and numbers will help.
Is it pretty standard for the targets that you go after that they have this laundry list of previous activity.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of times we're going after targets that have pretty significant criminal histories, especially the ones that we spend a lot of time working, because they're the ones that we really want to get. Like I said, this guy has, I think, several convictions. Unsure exactly when they are, but this could be another case too, where if he did serve time, here in Illinois in prison, since they kind of passed their sanctuary ordinances, like we wouldn't have had notification that he got released. But there's a chance that if we would have got notification, that we could have arrested him, coming right from a prison.
That's much safer. Just pick up.
Right, exactly. Safer, and again, like this case too, the case officer was talking that they spent a couple days doing surveillance on it already. So again, there's probably over 20 hours just spent, in this case, out in the field. And so if you now today already, there's 7 of us times, it's going to be 3-4 hours today. We're looking at, 50 to 60 hours for one case.
What does a smooth up? How does that go?
That's what everyone always prays for, is a smooth op. And I think the smooth op is that one, and this, this has at least the beginnings to be a smooth op, because we did have a little bit of time to do some pre-surveillance on the case and just kind of get educated about it. So smooth in this case is going to be that we have the pattern of life kind of locked down, so that he does get off the bus at the time we think, and that we are able to converge at a time to get him before he gets in the house, and that he obeys all of our commands, and it's just a clean arrest where we don't have to use any force, and that keeps our officer safe. It keeps the target safe. And then we get him back in, the processing goes smoothly, and then in this case he is a lawful permanent resident, meaning he has a green card, he's got lawful status here, but he does have a conviction that makes him removable from the U.S., so that his case will be set up to see an immigration judge, and the immigration judge will make the final determination whether or not he can stay, or whether if he gets a final order of removal from the U.S.
Can you explain a bit about like how you position?
Sure, and right now we want to be far enough away because we have some cars with good eyes on the house. That means that they have, they're seeing what's going on right at the location. So we don't need to be close at this time. So we want to be far enough away where no one from the house is gonna, if they're doing any type of counter surveillance, to see us and kind of burn the case. And burning the case just means, right, so they know that we're looking, and then they'll kind of change what they normally do. So we want to stay far enough away, but yet close enough where we can respond when something's happening. So there is kind of a lot that goes into it, and a lot of the team that's been out doing surveillance already has kind of scoped out where the best places are to sit, to be able to see what we need to see, but yet again not be seen.
The guy had before mentioned counter surveillance. Does that happen a lot?
It does with a lot of the people that we arrest, right? They're known criminals, they have criminal convictions, and so they know that either we are looking for them or they're still committing some type of crimes. So they are pretty much out there looking around their areas. And some of these places too, right? If they see a bunch of cars that they're not used to seeing, it kind of gets their antennas up, knowing that something might be up.
So it sounds like these people are expected to at least have some sort of touch point with you guys at some point in their life.
Right. Especially, like this guy, obviously he knows that he's not a U.S. citizen. He's here illegally, but not a U.S. citizen. He knows he has these convictions. So, he knows that this is something that, could be happening. All right, so there's in that blue car.
So you can see another.
Yeah, so that car there is one of ours, the blue one. So they have eyes on it. So right now we're just going to kind of hang back, just because our windows are tinted and people can kind of see in here.
Do you get encounters with the public if they see you out in a situation like this?
Yeah. Yep. Sometimes they'll come and kind of see what we're doing. There could be a time when we're out to make the arrest that we approach by the public, and it seems to be happening a little bit more lately at this time. Again, trying to kind of impede what we're doing or obstruct what we're doing. So that's why even as we go out, you know, if everything goes good here and this guy comes back when he's supposed to come back and we arrest him, we don't try to just spend a lot of time out there. We try to make the arrest and then bring the alien to our processing area to get processed.
Where's it?
I think he's coming out.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody start moving on him.
So we might have Tucker coming out, so he might not have been on the bus.
Across the street. He's walking on South Lincoln Street.
Your lights are in the center console.
Okay. So they said the other guy was in the red shirt. They think it's Tango, though, huh?
Is that target?
Yeah, it looked like him. I'm gonna try to approach him.
Is that him walking right in front of us, too, I think? Okay.
Yeah, back now. They were already, I guess.
I'm gonna FBI check.
Okay, they're right there in front of us. We just gotta get through this. We should be good right after this.
It's gonna be alright. We'll give you a phone call. You have all the chance, okay?
Want to check the other side? You say you got your kids?
Yes, they're right there in my house, please.
Who's taking care of her?
My mom went to the doctor. I know she's bad.
I got property back. Walk more with my car.
Let me take the police with my kids, please.
Here, go on, let's go.
Please.
Got it,
It's
let's
52,
go.
hey, right there, that's the black car. Please,
Let's
the
go,
mom
let's
got
go.
arrested.
Okay, come with us. You can call her when you get to the office.
Go another white car.
It's alright,
I
man.
need
We'll
to
give
see
you a
my
phone
kids.
call.
What is this for?
We'll give you a phone call. You're gonna have the opportunity, okay? So what we tell you to do, it'll be okay. One foot.
Back side, passenger side, passenger side.
Please, hey, the black car.
Get in the car. It's alright, man.
Please.
Get in the car. Sit down in the
I
car,
don't know.
man.
You haven't shown me any ID. Who are you?
Homeland Security. We're the Department of Homeland Security.
Homeland Security?
Okay? Yes, Department of Homeland Security. Got it? It's gonna be okay, man. We'll give you a phone call. It'll be just fine. Alright? Just work with us. Just don't fight us. It'll be okay, okay? I promise you. You're alright. You good?
Wait, no. What is this for? I'm not fucking you. What is this for, please?
We have a warrant with your arrest.
For what?
For being in the country illegally.
I'm not in the country legally. How am I in the country legally?
Hang tight, hang tight.
I'm Eric Granillo.
Just answer his questions.
Yes.
Get in here.
somebody's handcuffs. I don't know whose.
Hey, we're going to the house. We're going to get the medication.
I'll
Where are they going, you said?
spin around. It sounded like he said that he had medication. So,
roller coaster house.
and so if he does have any medical issues, that's something that, again, those are the questions that we ask when we get if they have any medical issues. And he said he has some medications at the house. So an officer's going to go back to his house to get whatever medication that he has. So he has it with him. When he comes into our custody too, again, this is our non-punitive detention. Like he'll get a medical screening and everything as well. But if he has medication he's currently taking, that's something that we want him to have.
What's going on?
Maybe hang tight here. We might want to get him to Broadview, and then somebody else can get the meds later. Okay.
What's going on?
Don't know. I think obviously he must be in the back. I don't know if he's trying to kick out the window. That can sometimes happen. You know, he's not happy to be arrested. We got a thumb up, so they're good.
You want to explain why your officers' agents have to cover their faces?
Yeah, I think that's one of the unfortunate things that's kind of going on now. There has been reports, and I don't know if any happened here locally, about just doxing of our officers. It's something that they don't necessarily always want to do. It's kind of uncomfortable with the faces, but as you can see, there's been a lot of public out here filming, and so what's happening is they're trying to identify our people and then post their personal information on websites, and it's something that I think our officers realize that's part of the risk of the job being law enforcement, right? That we're not ashamed of our faces, but the issue is these people have families too, and so they're not just going after the officer. Some of these are going to officers' houses when they have their families there, so they feel the need to kind of cover their faces just to protect themselves and their families. As you can see, right, it didn't go as planned. We had the best laid plans on this. What was going to happen, it didn't happen, and unfortunately, he fought throughout the whole arrest, even in the back of the car.
Is that why, like, when you have these many guys, when you know the criminal history, he has a history of resisting? That's why you have to have these many resources.
Right. Exactly, because you could see what happened if we had only had 2 or 3 guys there. I mean, it was a fight to get him under control and to get his hands behind his back. And I think that's the risk, right? If we can't control somebody's hands, we don't know what they're going to have on them, especially somebody who's resisted before. We don't really know if there's any weapons involved or anything else. And obviously with the history he had, we have to assume that there was weapons. So thankfully we were able to get him under control fairly quickly. And then again, that's why we have to have a lot of people out to do these arrests. But that's just another thing that I see happening, right? If that, we arrested this person now, and then if this was a local arrest, if they were booked in somewhere in Illinois, we wouldn't get notification of the arrest, and then we'd have to try to arrest the same guy again down the road, and the same thing happens. So it just puts officers in jeopardy again and again and again, when really, like with ICE, we're an agency that can, actually achieve public safety by, if so ordered by a judge, removing somebody back to their native country who is violent, like this person.
So on the range of smooth to bumpy, how would you rate the op?
I think it was smooth up until, this was bumpy. It was good. We identified him. I think we had enough officers on, so we were able to get him under control where he couldn't hurt any officers and he couldn't hurt himself. But again, he was fighting the whole time, even in the back of our car. He was fighting like he probably wanted to try to escape the car, so he was probably either kicking with his feet or elbows or head, and so then we had to go ahead and fully restrain him in the back of the car, which is hard to do. But in this case, we initially just had him handcuffed behind the back, but since he was causing some damage and we didn't know what he was trying to do, so then we put leg irons and belly chains on to kind of restrict movement, so to keep him safe and then our officers safe transporting.
Was he disoriented at all?
He didn't appear to me to be disoriented. He appeared to kind of know exactly. And I heard my officers telling him exactly what was going on, why he was under arrest. We understand that, he told us that he was a permanent resident here, that he wasn't here illegally, which is true, right? At this point, a judge hasn't ordered him removed up until this point. But we explained that, we did have a warrant for him because of the crimes that he was convicted of. And then again, tried to explain to him saying like, hey, you're not going back to your country today. You're going to have hearings before an immigration judge and many other options. He can definitely get an immigration attorney if he chooses to go through and kind of fight his immigration case.
And are you updated on their status?
We will. Like now we have these, this enforcement side that we just kind of saw, the enforcement, but now when it goes through, we have, our other officers that go through the whole kind of case management side that will follow this case through the immigration process and get updates as it goes through. We have, ICE has the legal division, which is the Office of the Principal Legal Advisor. So we work with our ICE attorneys then as this case goes through, and they'll update us anything that happens. Once this case reaches, a final order of removal, if that's what a judge orders, then we'll have people that set up, an actual plane. This individual is from Mexico, so there's, a chance that we'll remove him via ground, at a port of entry into Mexico, but that's what will happen with this case. And then we're the agency that does that. So again, we have this case from arrest all the way through removal, if that's the disposition, right? It could be different cases where the disposition might be that they, an immigration judge grants a benefit, be it asylum or, permanent resident status. But again, that's really not under our control. But once, a judge issues a final order, then we're tasked with that we need to execute that order by removing them from the U.S.